Okay, the first I will explain yes or no questions. Yes or no questions are questions that are always answered with yes or no, but you can also answer with a long answer by adding the words of the questions after to be or auxiliary. This type of question is usually preceded by a to be such as is, am, are, or auxiliary verb such as do, does, did, have, has, or had. And you can also use modal verb such as can and will. And this is the example using to be in yes or no questions. Are you a student at Harvard University? The B answer no. And this is example using auxiliary. Did you cook today? The answer yes. Okay, the next I will explain the difference of using to be and using auxiliary. Yes or no question using to be. For sentences that do not have a verb, we must use to be instead of a verb. The to be are is used for single subject, are is used for plural subject, am is used for the subject I. And this is the pattern of using to be in yes or no question. To be plus subject. And this is the example for the pattern. Is she your sister? Is as to be. She as subject. Are you happy? Are as to be. You as subject. Okay, this is yes or no question using auxiliary verb. If the sentence you want to ask has a verb, then use auxiliary verb in front of the interrogative sentence. Auxiliary verb are do and have is used for the subject I, you, we, they, and other plural subjects. Does and has is used for he, she, it, and other singular subjects. Did is used in the past context. In sentence, all subjects use did. Does or do have a general description, context, or tell of activity that are often or commonly done, while did is used to tell events that have happened and finished in the past. Do or does are included in the simple present tense, and did are included in the simple past tense. This is the pattern of using auxiliary verb. The pattern is auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb. And the next, I have the example using auxiliary verb in yes or no. This is the example. Do they work at a bank? Does he know about secret? Did she send you a letter last year? Another. Do, does, did, have, has, can, will as auxiliary verb. They, he, she, you, John, I, you as subject. Work, know, send, finish, move, borrow, and go as verb. From my explanation, I have notes. The first is yes or no question. Do not use the word what or anything else such as where, why, and other. Second note, to be is used if there is no verb in the sentence, but we use auxiliary verb for the sentence have a verb. The third note, actually, this type of question can be answered completely, not just with yes or no. The example, will you marry me? P answer, yes, I will. Are you hungry? P answer, no, I'm not. If asked with will, then answer with will too. If asked with to be, then the answer also uses to be. And the last note, if it means an invitation or a request, then yes can also be replaced with certainly, sure, or of course. For the example, can you help me tonight? B answer, sure. And you can answer of course or certainly. And the next, I will explain the next types of questions in English. That is WH questions. The WH questions usually and always begins with what, why, when, where, who, which, whose, whom, and how. What for question about the event that happened. Why questions how an event could happen. When for question the time the event happened. Where for question the location of the event asked. Who questions the person involved. Which for questions the choice. Whose for question the person that belong to a thing. Whom for question the person being impacted or affected. How for question about asked condition. The question with WH question, this question cannot be answered with yes or no, but we must give the information for the answer asking from WH question. This is the example. Who is your English teacher? P answer, Mr. Smith. What did you do last night? P answer, I finished my homework. And then WH question usually use as a subject or object. And this is for asked subjects. If you want to ask with have a subject, we must to adding the auxiliary verb. Like the example, what did you eat at the restaurant? Who did you invite to the party? And others. This is the incorrect sentence. What you eat at the restaurant. Because in the sentence have subject, you must add auxiliary verb. the correct sentence is what did you eat at the restaurant? Okay? And the next is ask object. In the example sentence, do not have a subject, so we don't need to use auxiliary verb. Like the example, what happened to your car? Who ate my pudding? You can see it is not have subject in the sentence. This is the incorrect sentence. What did happen to your car? The sentence is incorrect because in this sentence do not have subject, and you don't need adding the auxiliary verb. Okay, from my explanation, I have notes. When we using how, this how is usually combined with other word, and usually the meaning of how will change according to the next word in the questions. This is the pattern using how plus adjective can be changed the meaning. This is the example. How big is your house? How beautiful is your sister? From the two sentences, we can see different of their meaning, and you can see other explanation in there. Okay, I have exercise for you. The exercise first for yes or no question. Number 1. Blank blank blank, you know my brother? What is the answer? In the sentence, we must identify the sentence have or have not a verb. From the number 1 is have verb. The verb is know. And then we must use auxiliary verb to answer the question. What the answer? 2. Do you know my brother? Okay, do you get it? Okay, next, number 2. Blank blank blank, you hungry? What is the answer? Are. Why the answer is are? Because from the sentence we can identify there is do not have a verb, and you must use to be, and the to be is are because you or the subject is you is plural subject. Okay, number 3. What is the answer? Does he work now? Okay, number 4. Is he a certified dentist? Number 4 is in the sentence have verb, and we must using auxiliary verb for answer the question. And number 4 is do not have verb, and we must using to be for answer the questions. Okay, the next exercise for WH questions. Number 1, blank 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 is your name. What is the answer is what? What is your name? Okay, the next, number 2, blank 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 did you come late? What is the answer? Why? You must see the Indonesian for answer the question. Okay, number 3, blank 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 is your favorite actor. The answer is who? Number 4, blank 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 old your sister. The answer is how? Number 5, blank 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 will you give my book back? The answer is when. Okay, for the WH question, you must see your sentence and choose from the one of beginning WH question.